enforcement officials in Palm Beach, Florida, are discussing contingency plans for a potential criminal indictment against Donald Trump. That is according to Politico. They report this. Among the topics discussed in these meetings, how to handle the thorny extradition issues that could arise if an indictment moves forward. And it could be extra thorny because of a provision in Florida law, which allows the governor, currently Trump ally Ron DeSantis, to essentially say not so fast. Another state can request Florida to turn over a fugitive. But the law states the governor can ask a state official to investigate and determine, quote, whether the person ought to be surrendered. So what are local Florida officials now planning for? Joining me, the clerk of the Circuit Court for Palm Beach County, Joseph Abruzzo. Thanks for being here. The way I understand it, you would be the official in charge of launching an investigation into whether or not to extradite someone. In this case, it would be Donald Trump in the event he would be charged. Talk me through where your role would be should he be charged.
Thank you, Kate. I wouldn't be in charge of investigating. If that scenario takes place, the governor would be appointing a official, and it could be a variety of officials he can choose from, and they would be in charge of investigating that extradition, reporting back to him. And as you pointed out, there is a gray area in that statute that could potentially allow the governor to not send the former president or anybody for that matter back to the state of, in this case, of New York.
Can you confirm this political reporting that these contingency planning meetings are happening in the event he would be charged?
Sure. There has been discussions. This is uncharted territory. This is something that has never happened before. We have to look at the fact there is a grand jury out on the former president. The district attorney of New York has been extremely aggressive, spending a lot of money on special prosecutors and expert witnesses. Just yesterday, a subpoena was put forth the Manhattan School of former President Trump's CFO. So we have to take this seriously. This is not something we can not have discussions about if an indictment does come down on the former president. So yes, several of us have been talking. I've been working with my office as our role of clerk of the circuit court, which we package together the case once that extradition, the potential extradition comes down.
So have you heard from the governor's office at all or discussed this with his office at all?
I have not.
Would you expect to hear from the governor ahead of this?
Probably not. You know, there's several different scenarios that this could go forth. Traditionally, high-level indictments, they work out a surrender agreement, where in this case, the former president would fly himself up to New York. That is a likely scenario. But if that does not occur, it will come down to our state. And the governor is the supreme authority and will have the ability to, his powers will stay in the law of which we've been discussing.
Have you heard anything from the New York Attorney General or the DA, who's clearly, as you point out, investigating him?
No, and I wouldn't anticipate that we would hear from them. You know, this stuff is extremely confidential. Especially in the grand jury. So we will know. Now, I will say this, we will get it. It will not be public record. So traditionally, when an indictment comes down, it will be extremely confidential. It would not become public until an individual is picked up, in this case, by our sheriff's department. So,
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
One more thing. You served as, this is incredibly fraught and will be, a million eyes will be on it, of course, because it's involving the former president of the United States in the event he would be charged. Again, hypothetical at this moment. You served for 10 years as a Democrat in the Florida Ledge. You're also a friend and former business partner of President Biden's brother. What do you say to folks who will look at this, look at your bio and background and say, this guy can't be objective in dealing with Donald Trump?
No, absolutely a fairy tale. I am I will handle everything above and beyond the law. Everything will be beyond approach. My role in this is simply really a custodian. I'm custodian of the public record of how this takes place. I have nothing to do with the indictment, how he's charged, or any if that occurs. So I am, you know, the former president is a constituent of mine. Anything that you know, he will be treated just as fairly as anybody else. I respect the privacy of everybody going through legal matters, and he will be treated with the utmost dignity and respect as anybody that comes in contact with our offices.
All important and fascinating, nonetheless. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.